It's awesome. WAGSY'S World. WAGSY'S World. Have some fun. WAGSY'S World. WAGSY'S World. Like and subscribe.
Hey everybody, I'm Wagsy. Welcome to WAGSY'S World, and continuing our series, What Makes Blank Great? And today we have the true great one, Joe Montana. Now remember to stay to the end, because I'm going to give you my top 10 quarterbacks of all time that I've seen play on a regular basis. So I have to have watched him play several or many games. So hang around for that. And also remember, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, another thing is, I didn't have any 49er gear at home. This is as close as I could get to their colors. And if you notice, I have tried to block out the Dallas Cowboy helmet with some great bourbon. The stuff behind me I can't help. So we got a lot of Dallas stuff in here, but today it's about Joe Montana and / the 49ers. Okay, let's get into it. Joe was born in 1956 in Pennsylvania in a coal mining town. He's of Italian-American descent, his family. In fact, the name was changed from Montani, M-O-N-T-A-N-I, Montani to Montana. Now in high school, Joe was a 3-sport guy: baseball, basketball, and of course football. North Carolina State offered Joe Montana a basketball scholarship. That's how good he was at that sport. And from what I understand, all 3 sports in high school. Joe went to Notre Dame in '74 on a full ride scholarship. Joe's legendary play started getting noticed at Notre Dame about his mid-junior year. His most famous performance at Notre Dame was the '79 Cotton Bowl. Temperatures were so cold that at halftime, when he went in the locker room, his internal temperature was 96. The staff got scared, started giving him fluids, covering him with blankets. They even gave him chicken noodle soup. Now he came back and he guided the team to 3 TDs in the last 8 minutes. And they beat Houston 35-34. Now, despite this and other college heroics, scouts didn't really rate Joe that high. Now, he was drafted in '79 by the 49ers in the 3rd round, but he was the 82nd pick overall. How about 81 guys get picked before Joe Montana? Sounds like another story named Brady. His first year in the league, he backed up Steve DeBerg. But by 1980, the job was his. He became their starter. Let's get into some of his stats, because they're unbelievable. He's second in career playoff passer rating. He won 4 Super Bowls. 3 of them, he was the MVP. 3-time Super Bowl MVP and 2-time league MVP. He threw 122 passes in the Super Bowls that he played in. 0 picks. Didn't throw an interception in 4 Super Bowls. In 1989, he threw 11 playoff touchdowns. And his last 2 years with the Chiefs, he took them to the playoffs for the first time in 22 years. The Chiefs hadn't been in the playoffs for 22 years. Joe comes over, they go to the playoffs. Why do I think Joe Montana is great? Well, I watched and loved him at Notre Dame. And I even really liked to watch him play in San Francisco until the 1982 NFC Championship, the catch, the winning TD, and took him to the Super Bowl, of course, and they won the Super Bowl. So these guys probably should have went to that Super Bowl and maybe got another one. Joe didn't allow it. Too Tall Jones said he had nightmares about the catch 10, 20 years afterwards. He's the guy with the outstretched arms. Joe throws the ball and barely clears his hands, and Dwight Clark catches it in the end zone. Yes, let me get back to the greatness of Joe Montana. I'm getting on a tangent about my poor Cowboys. Now, I silently rooted for Joe Montana even after the catch. He's just too great to not root for. He's one of the calmest under pressure quarterbacks that ever played. Maybe the coolest under pressure. Joe Cool, one of his nicknames. And his ability to bring people back, to bring a team back to victory, reminded me of a cowboy, Roger Staubach. But Joe was even better at it. You can call him the comeback kid, whatever you want to, but you were never out of a game as long as he was under center. And that's the greatness that I love of Joe Montana. Here's some interesting facts about Joe. He's the only 3-time Super Bowl MVP. He was Tom Brady's hero. Tom Brady is a Bay Area guy, and so he grew up watching, worshiping his hero, Joe Montana. And also, this album, Hip to Be Square, Huey Lewis, Joe Montana singing backup vocals on Hip to Be Square. He's a venture capitalist. Easy for you to say, Wagsy. Investing in Airbnb and Pinterest and Robinhood. He was one of the initial guys to put up money for those companies. Now let's get to the John Candy story if you haven't heard it. It was the 1988 Super Bowl. Let me get the stats here. There was 3 minutes left. They were on their own 8-yard line and they were down 3 points. Pressure's on, right? Big time. They get in the huddle on their own 8-yard line. They go to a TV timeout. They're all in the huddle, kind of killing a few minutes or seconds, whatever. Joe Montana points into the stands and says, "Hey guys, isn't that John Candy? You know, John Candy, the actor, Uncle Buck." And all the guys in the huddle looked up, and they go, "Yeah, it is." Montana goes, "Wow, that's cool. Candy's here. I love that guy." Again, 3 minutes left. Your own 8-yard line, you need to go down there and at least get a field goal to tie. A touchdown wins it. That's what they do. He's Joe Cool. Puts the entire huddle at ease. All the other players later said, "Man, it just took all the weight off of us. It was like we're in the backyard playing football after he loosened the entire huddle up." What a leader. What cool that man had. And that's some of the interesting facts of Mr. Joe Montana, the great Joe Montana. Okay, how about my top 10 quarterbacks? Again, this is that I've watched play, so let's call it since about 1967. Boy, I just aged myself probably a lot there. Number 1, and this is a recent change for me, Tom Brady. Yes, I, like many, have had to give in. The guy is a machine, and he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Number 2 for me, Joe Montana. He was the greatest for me probably up until about 3 or 4 years ago. Number 3, John Elway. Cannon arm, throw it anywhere, bring people back. Let me say this about this list too. I always say, it's like when you were in school and everybody leans up against the wall and a captain starts making picks. That's how I'm picking this top 10. Who I would pick, they were all leaning up against the wall. For me, John Elway's number 3. Number 4, Johnny Unitas. Saw him late in his career and he was still amazing. Evidently, early in his career, he was unstoppable. Number 5, Roger Staubach. I've watched him so much and seen him come from behind in so many games. He's top 5 for me. Number 6, Dan Marino. The quick release, the leadership on the field. If you wanted a guy that was fiery and got his team going, Dan Marino was the guy. Number 7, Brett Favre. Gunslinger, improviser, tough as nails, and another cannon arm. I love to watch him play, Brett Favre. Number 8, Manning. Yes, Peyton Manning changed the game. Was so good at changing the play at the line of scrimmage that it kind of invented another facet of the quarterback position. That's number 8, Peyton Manning. Number 9, Aaron Rodgers. Statistically, maybe the best. He's great in anybody's book. A lot of people have him higher than I do at 9. But that guy I would take in a second, and I have him at number 9. And number 10, Drew Brees. Another guy with stats galore. A guy you want on your team at the end of the game. Excellent leader. Amazing ability at a smaller height for the position in today's game. So there's my top 10 guys. I want to thank you very much for watching and listening, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
WAGSY'S World, WAGSY'S World, it's awesome.